Hey guys, we're back. Sorry about that. I'm just reading some stuff in developer chat that's kind of cool for Xanima. Okay, right. So fan coral. Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. I'm just gonna sort of, this might actually be a good way to prototype how the coral is going to look on this creature. I'm just gonna slap in some coral where I think coral should belong. And then we'll just, get on with the sea squirts and all the other sea life that inhabits this creature. For those that weren't here, I was streaming for a bit, but then my girlfriend came down with some stomach illness. I made her some ramen, and I think she's doing better now. We can probably just duplicate this one and then just warp it a bit for the other. Just mirror that over. We can just use this one 2D mesh for basically all of the fan coral. Try to look at some references because there's probably I know there's like a crab that gathers sea life on its shell. We should go take a look at references for that before we get too carried away here. I mean, basically just gonna be like coral on top of a shell, right? That complex. Make like a small one here. I sort of feel like I should shape this coral into like something instead of just throwing it randomly, you know? A good plan. Let's throw it about randomly. Kind of random. some sea ales and some sea snails. Seaweed growing in its body too. Yeah. Oh, it was kind of high. Uh, not not too sure what you mean, but it's okay. I know that like English isn't your first language, is it? Yeah, we see what we can do. Some seaweed is another really good suggestion. I should definitely add some seaweed to this thing. Oops, deleted a Z-sphere there. Throw some lettuce on his back. Some orange tasty lettuce. Looks like. I think this one is a bit too high, like you mentioned. Let's go angle it back. There, that looks better. It's all about the angles. Now that I think about it, I probably don't need the Z-spheres anymore. I can just extract this into a 3D shape and then... Well, I mean, it's already a 3D shape, but you know what I mean. Z-spheres. Like this. One will kind of stick in there. This one will go around. That. Trim off a few branches here. Actually, you know, I think I'll use a mask. I'll give a more organic, organic shape to it instead of slice curve. And we can refine that later. Sorry, I'm being distracted by developer chat in Exanima. Looks cool, looks cool. This one should be a bit smaller. I think this one is big. And maybe make this one smaller too. Keeping in mind that this is a pretty big creature after all, so the fan coral shouldn't be that big. Although I know it can probably grow up to that big, but I assume if they grow too big, they'll probably break off. This creature isn't a stationary reef bed after all. It's a creature, so he's moving around, probably bumping up against ocean rocks or boulders kind of stuff. So I want to rotate this one down. Trying to figure out where it should go. I feel like it needs to be a little bit smaller actually. Down as a peg. There we go. I'm probably like, this is gonna take a while to get all this coral adjusted. I'm glad I went with this method instead of Z-spheres. Z-spheres would have been a nightmare. Holy moly. That was a bad decision on my part. I'm glad we didn't go through with it. This is already gonna take a while, I can tell. But the results are gonna be pretty cool. I have high hopes for this method. Making coral I spontaneously came up with. Even the coral on his back has to follow like an artistic flow. You kind of have to think about like the coral placement in terms of what this creature does, how this creature moves, etc. So it has to be, kind of has to conform to his shape, doesn't it? After all, he's like brushing up against the ocean floor is one thing, but also like swimming creates drag. So enough drag is going to tear off the larger chunks of coral for sure, or just like break off parts of it. So it'd have to sort of conform to its shape, otherwise it's gonna be washed off. You should probably also like add some cleaner fish. You know, like large creatures often have accompanying fish that clean off parasites and other stuff. You can like put them off to the side here as part of a scene. Sorry guys, I haven't been checking comments in forever. Yes, I make the armor and creatures for Exanima. Most of them. Well, yeah. Some of the creature models were bought. And some of the armor, I think Madoc and maybe I think Kieran also made some armor in the early days. Can grow up to 1 meters. That's the fan coral, right? Wow, is this the same thing from earlier? It looks awesome. Thanks, Fingusar, and welcome to the stream. Make some broken coral. Yeah, broken coral is a fantastic detail that I should add. How about like sponges too? I know like sponges are like super abundant in the ocean, especially like the filter feeding sponges. I can add a few of those on to like everything. This is gonna be a smorgasbord of sea life. I think it needs to be a bit smaller. I gotta be careful not to make like not to make these details too crazy because I still want the sea monster itself to shine through as the main object of attraction here. If I make these things a bit too big, you're not gonna be able to see the sea monster underneath all this amazing detail. And this side is looking a bit too big and busy. Maybe we can shrink this one down as well. And yeah, that one is a bit big as well. Ooh. It's kind of hard to select these because there's holes in the mesh everywhere. If I click on one of those holes, it's just going to spin the camera instead of actually doing what I want. I'm just going to select the mesh underneath the fan. Oh. I think needs a few more bits. Let's move this here. Shrink that one down. Angus, if you're still here, like check back in like another month or so. Like this thing's gonna be all textured and animated. Hopefully by then. I don't know. I only do spend like 2 hours every stream, so that's gonna be enough time. But especially like once it's textured, it's gonna look much different and hopefully much better. Because this isn't actually properly textured yet. As I mentioned before, if you go into flat color, this is the texture, and you can see this isn't like hardly textured at all. Just some very soft airbrushed colors I just threw on there as a reference, really, for the modeling process. All the colors so far. As you can see, like the coral I added is probably the most detailed in terms of texturing. Let's think. Maybe let's go add some sea anemone next. Or I feel like sea anemone are kind of. I think I actually only have a few of those here and there. Same with starfish. Barnacles are something I really need to make. So let's quickly whip up some barnacles. How would I make a barnacle? There's different kinds of barnacles too. There's like the normal kind of barnacle, you'll kind of like a little volcano shaped barnacle. Then there's the gooseneck barnacles. Yeah, really, maybe like the same kind of barnacles that grow on whales would probably grow on this crustacean. Let's go search for whale barnacles. I don't think goosenecks actually grow on whales. Well, maybe they do. Shit, that looks horrifying. Poor whales. Jeez, those look horrible. Oh my god. Whales really have it rough with barnacles, don't they? Well, if you guys don't want to get any sleep tonight, you guys can go look up whale barnacles. Oh god, there's even like lice on them too. That's disgusting. Whale lice. I'm gonna look up that. Whale lice. I forgot whales have like lice that are massive. Oh god, that's horrifying. Oh god. It's really gross. Am I going to change the quill colors? Yes, I will. I'm just like looking at all the kind of shit I could add to this thing. Oh my god, what the hell is that? Oh my god, that is horrifying. Oh god. I gotta show the Xanima Dev's whale lice. Alright, enough of that. Alright, so what should I do next? Barnacles for sure. And then I think like lice, starfish, sea anemone. Those are details that will take a little bit more time to make, but I think barnacles should be easy enough. So to do that, I'm going to get like, I guess I'll just like sculpt it from a sphere, I guess. That's probably gonna be the fastest method, really. Whoa, what the heck is going on? Reverse interpolation or something? I don't know. I think this is smaller. Down. And that's enough. Oh, okay. Geometry. Let's go just make this 0. Solo. Alright, let's get to sculpting. Let's dynamesh this. E512. Looks good. Oh shit. I don't know. I just do that by habit. Let's use some clay buildup. And maybe we're gonna do the like the stereotypical barnacle for now. Let's do tool. Right. Go. Okay, it's in tool. No, tools. But what the heck did my oh, here it is. It's right in front of me. Okay, let's go to try and activate symmetry. Radial 8. I guess that's good. And we'll just do that. Real quick and easy barnacle. And might as well just add a bit of detail on the other side because sometimes you never know, like maybe the mesh is sticking out a bit too far. And I should go look up references for barnacle. I can do that right now. Oh god, I have to look at barnacle references again. It's so disgusting. Barnacles are more like cones. Man, barnacles come in all kinds of weird shapes. You should go look it up. I mean, if you've like already eaten, because it's pretty gross. I mean, this could already be a barnacle, really. I spent too much time on the barnacles. Well, maybe I should because I'm not going to be able to add this detail later. It'll take forever to update. Update the brush. I'll just make some random sea barnacle shapes. How many ridges do they have? That's probably an important thing to take note of. 1, 2, 3. There's what is 6-sided again? Hexagonal? Yeah, they're hexagonal in shape actually, so I have a few ridges too many. This is 8. Let's go radial count 6. Whatever, I'll just leave like the all in there just for like RNG. Bit of RNG never hurt anyone. Let's go turn this octagonal barnacle into a hexagonal barnacle, which would be more accurate. Kind of looks like a pumpkin, doesn't it? Harmless little pumpkin. Oh. And then whale barnacles. What species are they? Traveling whale barnacles. Is there like a species name for these? Here you go. Look it up. Mostly out of curiosity. God, a single baleen whale can carry up to 450 kg of barnacles. It's horrifying. That's like a third of. That's like what? That's like basically an elephant. They're carrying around the weight of an elephant in terms of. No, wait, is that pound? No. Being all mixed up. Oh no, it's a lot. 450 kg, that's a lot. They are under Cryptolipas Brachianus. I don't know how to pronounce that. Brachian. Is it a hard C or soft C? I guess it's a hard C, isn't it? Cryptolipas. Cryptolipas. Brachi. Whatever. Well, barnacles are filter feeders. They increase the drag of the host while swimming, making the barnacles parasites. For hatching, whale barnacles go through 6 molting stages before searching for a host, before being prompted to settle by a chemical cue from the host's skin. The barnacle creates a crown-shaped shell and in most instances deeply embeds itself into the skin for stability while riding a fast-moving host. Jeez. Okay. The fleshy appendage exiting the hole, the apertual shroud, more prominently displayed than in other barnacles. The cirri, feeding tentacles which extend out of the aperture, are short and thick, probably enabling them to remain more stable while riding a fast-moving host. Alright. Well, I'm just gonna, now that I know a little bit about whale barnacles, which are totally different from the kind that you find on rocks, I'm just gonna sculpt this visually, and then I can read more about it later if I want to. I don't know if I really want to, because these things are disgusting. How much ridges do each of these ridges have? They have like 1, 2. They have like 4 ridges per ridge. Let's go divide this into 4 sub-ridges. Hey, guess what, Raffles? Barnacles have ridges too. So that's what a whale barnacle kind of looks like. It is like super lumpy and not that optimized. Let's use move. Kind of good. Edges are a bit more pointy. And then kind of like a out here. I'm gonna turn off symmetry and just like draw this in. I have this horrible vagina-looking appendage that comes out right here. So this is the Siri, or the cirrus. It's Latin meaning a long, thin structure in an animal similar to a tentacle. Then I think I can actually let's dynamic mesh this again, and then we'll clean this up a bit with gaming standard. But once we're finished with the modeling, I think we can actually poly paint this and then turn this into a insert mesh brush, which will also save the poly paint. They don't have to poly paint every single barnacle. That would save me loads of time. And then maybe I can even put these all together into like modular sections of barnacle. That'll also save me more time. It should be enough detail, I think, because these things are going to be kind of small and there's going to be a ton of them. So it doesn't need to be super detailed, but I do like putting in just enough detail that it looks good from a distance. That should be good. Let's go hit it up with a bit of noise brush too. Turn on see add, turn off RGB, sensitivity down a bit, turn off lazy mouse, and side. Other side doesn't. Yeah, I just saw the comment. That has to be so painful. Yeah, yeah, definitely very painful. I feel bad for the whales. That's why whales jump out of the water. They're trying to remove this barnacles by breaching the water. I think I learned that back in. I think I did like some sort of whale watching when I was a kid, and went on like a school trip. Go do that. And that should be good. Pretty good, I'd say so. And let's remesh with same. Actually, you should probably duplicate this. Z-remesh. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, it's all good. All right. Let's poly paint this. So they are mostly white with a pink center. What I can do is actually, nah, it's fine. I was thinking about like dragging the image in and then color picking from it, but We don't need to do that. We can just do it by eye. This is like ivory color. Good. Refill. Then we can like a peach color in the center. That. Oh, a bit more orange, isn't it? Orangey peach. Yeah, that's good. Alright, turn off alpha. The add. Let's go fill this in here. These are going to be pretty small on the model, so I'm not too worried about being extremely accurate. Alright. Let's go mask by cavity. Maybe mask by ambient occlusion. Yeah, we'll go give it a bit of ambient occlusion. We'll just like copy that color, make it a bit darker. Mask. Yep. Mask by cavity. Invert. There. Looks okay. Let's go check what it looks like with flat color. Yeah, that's gonna be alright. Cavity again. Let's go extend the mask and then maybe add in some highlights. So I want the ivory color again. Go to a white-ish. Too white, isn't it? Might have to do this manually. Do standard RGB white. Then we'll just touch up some areas here. Areas that are standing out. Give it a bit of shadow and highlights. And there we go. Let's go turn to basic material. And then enter that. Let's go make this a create insert mold. Yeah, create insert mesh new. This will be, we should probably save this as, because I do want more barnacles later. Let's save this as death solution to ads. That's good. Let's save this in my right. Then one sec, I have some leftover ramen I can finish. What's up? It's a nipple crab. Ramen. Yeah. My girlfriend couldn't finish hers, so I'm gonna finish.
Yep.
Hmm. Sounds like a large hallway. No, I'm actually in the kitchen. I just like, I'm so lazy that I don't get off my chair. I just like, I just roll my chair all the way to the sink. Yeah, now that we have our nipple barnacle, we're gonna get crazy on this guy and really nibble him up. Nibble him up. Sorry guys, I'm gonna finish this ramen, and then and then I'll be back. Give me like 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Polish that off really quick. This is less than a minute, definitely. Hold on, I want to show the extent of my general chat this. Gonna get a kick out of this. All right. Okay, I'm gonna. I guess I'll start decorating this thing with barnacles. Now that we have a barnacle. Um, so I guess we'll start with the torso and then work on the legs. Oh, this is subdivided. Hmm. I'm gonna make a duplicate. Delete the lower. Then I'm gonna some. Here. Wait, how come it doesn't save the? Did it not save the polypaint? Oh, I do have RGB mode on. It should save the polypaint. I don't know why it's not. I have to like save the polypaint when I was in this school. So if I go to insert mesh, no options for saving polypaint. But I know it's, I know you can do it. I just like some toggle that I didn't check or something. Let's maybe we turn off colorize and then we do it. No? Maybe mRGB. What the heck? What the heck? Maybe if we turn off RGB. Ah, there we go. We have to turn off RGB because it copies the color from the brush that's currently being selected, so it just overwrites the textures on that. So, yep, now we have a barnacle. We just need a few thousand more. Is that really the too lazy for name guy, or is that just like some, or is that gladiator? I can't tell. Can't tell who is who anymore. I don't know, man. Like Gladiator makes a really convincing impression. Hey man, I already gave you a chance to get back onto the Discord, and I don't know why you're bothering me because I'm kind of off work right now. To do embed 0. Yeah, like keep it up. I'll ban you from my Twitch channel too. That'll be fun. And be a real sneaky coward and just ban you from everything. Alright, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to ban you now. There you go. Sorry, man. I already gave him a chance. Like I said, if he stopped calling me a coward, and if he promised to behave himself on the Discord, I'd unban him. And then, guess what he responded to me? Like, guess what his response was? I mean, he says it all the time. It should be really easy to guess, like, what his response is. But yeah, that was his response, and I was like, nah. Sorry, man, you're staying banned. Kind of don't like how the mesh disappears. Is there? I wonder if there's a method to like turn that thing off. Like I would like to be able to see the mesh as I'm dragging the barnacles on just as a point of reference for the other barnacles, really. I guess I just have to use my inner force powers and figure it out. Who was he? He was just this guy who's just like spamming. When's the update coming out? Like every single day on the Discord. So I banned him for spamming. And then now he he comes to my personal life and he spams here too. So I'm like, nah. Nah, bruh. The clear mass. That looks really good. Look at that. Doesn't that look like barnacles, guys? That looks like fucking barnacles. Oh, that looks so good. Like a million vaginas gaping out towards me. It's so fucking disgusting. Oh my god. Oh man. The joys of being a game developer. It's right here, guys. This is why you become a game developer. Oh my god. This looks horrifying. It's gonna be horrifying to do because look how long this takes. I mean, it's worth it. It totally is worth it. Look at that. I already have a small section done here, and I can finish this whole model in a few hours. Actually, you know, before adding the barnacles, I want to do the final detailing on the mesh for sure. Because look how blobby the textures are here, the meshes here compared to the barnacle. I want to have the mesh here match the same geometry resolution as the barnacles. So I'm gonna just delete this right now because I already made a copy of the torso, but I'm gonna keep this in mind. I think barnacles is going to be like a kind of like an end game stretch for detail. But right now I'm gonna, I guess I'll work on the coral fan, or maybe, no, I'm just gonna hold it back. I'm just gonna finish up the detail, high poly detail on the creature. I'm gonna finish up the detail on the creature before doing the fan coral and everything else. I mean, that's what they look like in real life, so I don't know what else I'm supposed to put on here. Like, it's like every single reference image has the same kind of barnacles. So there we go. It's like a pair of feet sticking out of this monster. Those are his real feet. Let's go hide the base placard. Alright, final details. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with the Dynameshed models, and that means we're going to duplicate, then Dynamesh and project, I think, which is a lengthy process. I wonder if there's any way to automate this, actually. Is there a way to, like, batch do this? Have that start so I can, like, do that. Show them all at once. Maybe in ZScript? Z plugin? I should make my own Z scripts. I really should. That would probably be what I can do with Z scripts. It's like Dynamesh everything, then Z remesh it, and then do anything else I want to do. But since I don't know how to do Z scripting right now, I'm just gonna have to be a basic peasant and do this manually. Sucks, but yeah, dude. You gotta do what you gotta do. Terrible Scottish. I don't know where that came from. You want crab ragoon now? Yeah, barnacles are parasites. Right, there's a specific barnacle for crabs. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Horrible. There's some really nasty stuff in the water. Just fixing some warp details. Did move it around a bit. Last stream I was just doing a ton of proportioning. That kind of screwed things up a bit. But it's well worth it. Proportions are really the most important thing about making characters and creatures. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, final detailing pass. This is where it gets really tedious and you know, it takes a long time to actually get all the details just right because I have the final details. I can't really move stuff around too much anymore. So yeah, let's get to it. This is the part where I put in details that will make, well, hopefully, oops, that'll hopefully make the artists over at ZBrush Central jealous. Make my fellow artist peers amazed, shock and awe them. Alright, so first, I gotta dynamesh this. Is you can see that there's some weird mesh stuff going down here. So let's move this to the top. Duplicate that because we want to project the details. Let's hide everything else. We're gonna go with this one at a time. Lower Dynamesh. Wow. I don't know if 512 is gonna be enough. Might be. Yeah, okay, it is. That's high enough res. And then we're going to, sorry, ramen burp projectile. And since the other claw is the only mesh that's visible, should project all of that. Now we have our details back. There's some weird stuff going on here. I gotta go fix that. So now I'm going to find one and just get to sculpting. Insomniac, you're off to work? Alright. Have a good day at work, man. Glad you're having your round. Nin, when are you making a model for? When you are making a model for video games, how do you define which parts are the hard parts and which are the soft parts? Or is that part of the programmers? Well, it's more like a visual thing, right? Defining which is hard and soft. But unless you meant like which parts are animated or like weight mapped. So if you have like a soft part, you have the mesh, you would indicate that through weight mapping. And a weight map is, I explained this in earlier streams, but a weight map is, so you have like, for animation you usually have a rig. A rig is like a skeleton. Imagine like the human skeleton. So you have multiple bones in the human skeleton, and a rig is the skeleton plus plus controls for that skeleton. And a weight map is a map that that stores essentially like vertex data almost. Each vertices or each vertex on a low polygon mesh can be assigned different weights, and you can paint those weights on usually in a 3D program. And depending on like the amount of weight they paint on, you can exert different different degrees of force onto that particular vertex. And that's how you define essentially what is animated and what is not animated. And then you can like further enhance on that using like cloth physics and cool stuff like that. Morph targeting. I believe they use a lot of morph targeting and also extra bones for shoot, what is that called again? God of War. Like all the muscles on that guy is really accurate. Pretty wild. Wait, do I even I don't even have Z add on. It's just drawing without any data going on. Okay, I kind of have to shut up and concentrate and really work some magic on this thing because it needs it. Yeah, I hope that answered the question, sort of. I should remember the Dynamesh that I used. I think it was like 512, wasn't it? I have to replicate that process onto every other mesh. Pretty sure it was 512. Because I Dynamesh the Barnacles at 512 too. I have to go over every square inch of this high poly model and just make it look 100%. That's the goal for tonight. Well, not the whole mesh, but maybe like this claw, maybe even half this claw, because I don't know how long I've been streaming so far. About an hour, I guess. Maybe less than an hour because I had to go let my girlfriend make some ramen. Gotta be careful about not making the mesh too lumpy. It's gonna make the size a little bit bigger here. I'm building up. I should probably just use build-ups for this. There, knock out some of that lumpy detail. You gotta get like a less the intensity. And you can see some of the detail from the previous mesh I don't want right here got baked in. That's from poor geometry before dynameshing. But I mean, you're always gonna get this, so it's gonna smooth it out a bit without damaging the rest of the detail, which is a bit annoying. So maybe I should just smooth out quite a bit of this detail and really just keep the ones that are most important. This also helps in making the shell look more like shell. But I do have to be careful with the smooth brush because it's all pretty powerful. In fact, I don't even know if I should be using it. It might be a bad idea. This part is a bit of a problem spot too. You can tell that the mesh was kind of warped before doing Dynamesh. Which is why we do Dynamesh and then we do ZRemesh on top of that. Okay, should be pretty good. One hour and 40 minutes. All right. I think most of that was like ramen stuff. Pretty sure. I think I started at like started at 2, but most of that time was AFK. We'll go for up to like 4:30 Malaysian time. I feel like I should give some more thought into how these joints are going to move, because if I don't, the animation is going to bite me in the ass later. This is quite a complicated joint. Although, I think it should be fine, really. Maybe here, this bit here is going to get in the way. I think these joints are going to be mostly fused together in terms of like animation. Because I don't think this part will move much. Part looks. Yeah, I should move some of the spikes out of the way. They're gonna clip into the leg if I don't. Move this out like that. So give it a much less chance of clipping. It's also a bit lumpy. Give it some more shape there. Okay, yeah. I think that should be pretty good. Weird projection here too. Maybe there should be a spike here. That could be cool. Move that out. looking for more, yeah, this one. Looking for more spikes that are kind of in the way of animation. Go that last curve. I'll just rotate it. Maybe I'll just rotate it out of the way. And that slight change there, it looks like a small change, but it actually increases the angle of movement by a lot. Here. I suppose that's good enough for now. Let's go back to standard brush and just edit the detailing. What am I going to do this model? Is it just practice? Mostly just practice. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with this model, if I'm going to sell it or I'm just going to put it in a game or whatever. I'll probably sell it. Yeah, pretty good portfolio piece. I was watching some I was watching this Destiny 2 PvP streamer, and he was like some doing a video with RuneScape music in the background, and it's just been in my head the whole day. RuneScape has some really catchy music. It's like insane how catchy that music is. Bonkers. Increase the Z intensity on my brush a bit. I need to press a bit too hard, I think. I hope you guys can see why the final detail pass takes so long. It's gonna be worth it in the end. I don't usually, well, I don't really do like this much detailing on like work because it just take too long. I don't think we'd ever ship Xanima, well, ship uh, updates on Xanima. Also because like the camera view for Xanima is top down, so you're not gonna be able to see this much detail anyway. But if it was like first person, I would probably have to add this level of detail. Or even like third person, but with the camera closer or something like that. But the more details you do, the more realistic it looks, and that adds charm to them all. Yeah, definitely. Yep. The balance between level of detail and actually finishing a model. Yeah, give it like kind of like a gnarled, uh, somewhat mutated look into these claws here. Kind of like if it was molting, but it had like a bad molt, maybe make it look more unpleasant. This is mostly artistic license. I don't know if they actually have this kind of detail. They probably do. Some crabs probably have this kind of detail on their claws. It's gotta be. There's like so many species of animals and stations in the ocean. Or at least there was. It's a detail. Hey guys, I might call it a night here. I'm getting a bit sleepy. Yeah, we got a lot done this session. We started super late, 2 hours later than usual, um, which is probably why I feel a bit more tired than I normally am. Yeah, we'll see if we can pick it off tomorrow. I'm not feeling lazy or anything. Really just not be lazy and finish this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night here. Thanks everyone for coming. Night, Nayan, Observa, and thanks.